All right, every case file starts somewhere, usually with just one weird report, a single loose thread. Today, we're going to pull on one of those threads, and it unravels into a whole series of events that, frankly, are tough to explain. I'm just going to lay out the evidence for you. Witness by witness, incident by incident, you can be the judge. So, if you look at the blueprints, it's a state-of-the-art luxury hotel development, a real beacon of modern architecture. But from the moment they first broke ground, the project's been, well, it's been plagued by a string of really disturbing accounts from the very people building it, brick by brick. And this leads us right to the big question of this whole investigation. Are we just looking at a simple case of mass hysteria? I mean, it happens. The stress on a huge job site like this, it can get to people. Or is there a pattern here? A trail of evidence pointing to something else entirely? Let's open the file. Okay, every investigation has a starting point. For this one, we're opening the file in March of 2019. This is where the first documented event takes place. Our first witness is a guy named Kenji Murakami. He's a night guard, working the 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift. He's posted in the unfinished northern wing of the hotel, and his report is clear. He was totally, completely alone. In his testimony, he gave it to a blog called Yamitoshi. Murakami describes what he saw. He's adamant it wasn't a trick of the light, not some mist or a shadow, but a distinct shape. And when he moved towards it, it didn't run. It just stopped existing. Now, as an investigator, that little detail, the sheer impossibility of it, that's what makes you lean in a little closer. And, as you'd expect, his supervisor just blows it off as fatigue. Case closed, right? But then the very next week, another guard on the same shift, Daiki Fujimoto, he just quits. No formal explanation. The only thing he said to his coworkers was that simple, chilling statement, "I'm not going back there at night." See, one report, that's an anomaly. Two, now you might have a pattern. And that pattern, it just keeps going. So let's move the file forward to 2020. This is where things escalate from just seeing stuff to active, audible, and even physical events. So the phenomenon isn't just for the night shift anymore. Now the day crews are starting to report things. This account comes from Toshiro Yamamoto, a mason. He said he and his team started hearing whispers, not just random noise, but distinct, personal whispers, calling them by name. Now, what's interesting here is the pattern that starts to emerge from the data. This wasn't a one-off thing. We've got at least 8 different workers reporting similar auditory stuff, and it's happening in specific areas, like the basements and these windowless corridors. But the most curious detail? The whispers apparently stopped the second a radio was turned on. Now, that's a strange variable. It could point to some rational explanation, or it could be something else. 7. That's the number. 7 officially registered non-standard accidents on this site between 2019 and 2021. And we're not talking minor cuts and scrapes here. These are incidents that the safety engineers could not fully explain. And this is the most serious incident in the file. May 2020, a scaffolding collapse. The official report is clear. The safety locks were working perfectly. But one of the survivors, a man named Noboru Tanaka, he tells a very different story. He is absolutely insistent. He claims he was physically pushed. He felt a hand on his back when no one was there. So let's just lay out the timeline here. The progression is obvious. It starts with a passive sighting, something you just see. It escalates to a dangerous physical accident. Then comes a severe psychological toll on the crew. And it all culminates in a piece of heavy machinery just operating on its own in a way that defied any mechanical explanation. Each incident is more intense than the last. The pattern is one of clear escalation. Now we get to what is, for me, the most disturbing chapter in this entire case file, the profound psychological toll this took on the workers. Our focus here is on a man named Seizo Matsumoto. Now this isn't some rookie. This is a veteran foreman with 3 decades of experience, respected by his crew. A guy who had seen everything a construction site could possibly throw at him. And yet, according to multiple guys on his crew, this seasoned professional began to change. They describe it as a progressive paranoia. He started roaming the site at all hours, totally obsessed. His own words are the most telling, though. He wasn't looking for human intruders. He was watching for what he called what shouldn't be there. The official record, of course, states he was put on medical leave for occupational stress. It's a clean, simple explanation. but it neatly papers over the bizarre behavior that his entire crew witnessed. He was removed, and he never came back. Then there was an incident of just sudden, unexplained violence. Two guys who were close friends, Ryota Inoue and Satoru Kaji, got into a brutal physical fight for no reason anyone could figure out. After they were pulled apart, neither of them could explain why it even started. Ryota's description of his friend is haunting. He said he didn't just look angry. He looked like someone or something else. So for years, all these stories were just whispers, rumors circulating on blogs and online forums. But as the hotel got closer to completion, the corporation behind it, well, they had to respond. And now we meet Ayaka Takashima. She's the CEO of the parent company, and her reputation precedes her: sharp, controlled, intensely private. She almost never talks to the press, unless she absolutely has to. The fact that she's finally addressing these incidents tells you one thing: the rumors are now a threat to her bottom line. And here it is, her official position from a recent interview. I want you to pay close attention to her choice of words here. Folklore. Not rumors, not lies. Folklore. It's a very calculated move. It reframes years of documented reports, accidents, psychological breakdowns as nothing more than harmless campfire stories. So what you've got is this stark contrast. On one side, you have a multi-year pattern of consistent, varied, and escalating phenomena reported by dozens of different people. On the other side, you have a single, dismissive word. But her strategy is actually more complex than just simple denial. Her next move, which she announced in that same interview, is the most fascinating piece of this entire puzzle, if you ask me. For the hotel's grand opening, she's not just inviting the usual VIPs and influencers. Look at this guest list: historians, journalists, experts. It all sounds very transparent, very academic, until you get to that last line item: religious representatives. And this brings us to the final exhibit in our case file, and it's the question I want to leave you with. If you were the CEO, and you were absolutely 100% certain that all these events were just folklore, why would your guest list for the grand opening include people whose entire profession is dealing with the unseen and the unexplained? Her public statement is one of total dismissal, but her actions, they suggest something else entirely. It leaves you wondering what Ayaka Takashima really believes happened inside the walls of her brand new hotel.